reason, before any particular party has submitted any bid for Jet Airways, we understand that Kramer Ball is not just meeting with the lenders, but a whole host of other parties. Utkarsh Jetawry joining us with that story. Utkarsh, what do you think?
So in fact, what we have been told is that A.K. Purwar, who's the new non-executive chairman of Jet Airways, took over the charge yesterday. In fact, yesterday he went ahead and met the MD and CEO as well, briefed some of the pilots as well, and very importantly, he met Kramer Ball for a meeting as well, and that meeting, we are told, went on for almost 45 minutes to 1 hour. What we have been told is that Etihad is still looking for a way out to get an exemption for the open offer. They had a long chat with A.K. Purwar on the same, and that is what Etihad's point is, because if you remember, the Etihad earlier issues was of Naresh Goyal's stake being in the group and Naresh Goyal's representatives being in the group. Now, according to the new clause, NG's Naresh Goyal's stake will be transferred to a trust which can be really bought, and lenders also have a call option there. So Etihad, that problem is clear, but in order to really buy all the stake of Naresh Goyal, and even if it gets NIF on the board, it wants the open offer exemption to happen, and that is what we are picking up. So obviously there are 2 more days left, very important days when it comes to Jet Airways. On 11th of April, we'll be getting a sense of who all is in the race for Jet Airways bidding.
Okay, thanks a lot, Utkarsh, for joining us. With that, stay tuned to ET Now. We've been right on top of the entire Jet Airways saga. Time is running out. Bids can be submitted till April the 10th. Now let's talk about SR Steel. It's almost like a shot in the arm for ArcelorMittal, the world's largest steel maker. The NCLAT today did hint that ArcelorMittal at the next hearing could be asked to deposit all the money, the entire bid amount. Financial and operational creditors are on the same page. The Ruya family is doing all it can to retain SR Steel, but today's hearing did seem to go in the way of ArcelorMittal.
Well, exactly, and the NCLAT today hinted that on the next date of hearing, that is on the 23rd of April, they might ask ArcelorMittal to deposit the entire amount either before the appellate tribunal or before the NCLT, which is certainly a shot in the arm for ArcelorMittal. Also, they have been asked to submit an affidavit detailing the entire steps as far as implementation of the resolution plan for SR Steel is concerned. Apart from that, the financial and operational creditors will also provide a list and a chart listing out what exactly are the dues which are to be paid to them, the amount which is due to them, something which has already been approved by the COC and which already was submitted earlier. Now it would be given as part of a list and a chart before the NCLAT, and the next step would assume after that in which ArcelorMittal might be asked to deposit the amount. Also, earlier before the appellate tribunal itself, Standard Chartered had sought a higher payment, over which SBI, COC and ICICI have already moved the Apex Court, in which the last week the Apex Court had refused to grant them an early hearing. It remains to be seen whether the petitions in the Apex Court would be heard before the case comes up for hearing before the NCLAT on the 23rd of April, whether there would be any divergent order from the Apex Court which might upset the apple cart which is currently going in the way of ArcelorMittal.
Okay, Abhimanyu, let's leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us. It does certainly seem as if today's hearing went in ArcelorMittal's favor. The verdict should be out by April the 23rd. Here's an ET Now exclusive, and it's an interview with Sanjeev Bajaj of Bajaj Finserv. With nearly 2 lakh crore rupees under management, this financial services giant is already doing 70% business that is carried out by any bank. So does Bajaj Finserv have aspirations for a banking license? And what does Sanjeev Bajaj think of the India Bulls Lakshmi Vilas merger announcement? Is it right for the banking landscape and the right way for an NBFC to go? Here's Sanjeev Bajaj in an exclusive conversation with me.
There are multiple issues over here, and that's why this is not an easy answer. I think as far as India Bulls is concerned, they're in a peculiar situation, and maybe this is a solution for them if they get RBI approval. I don't know too much details other than what one opportunity in this country, whether you're a bank or you're an NBFC. And that is something that we as Bajaj Finance have demonstrated over the last 10 or 11 years, that you don't need a bank license to do 70% of what a bank does. And yes, 30% you cannot do. But this country is so large, it is so deeply unpenetrated, if that's the right English, as far as financial services is concerned. So we have a lot to do, and we've been able to show that. I believe that there are too many limitations around the banking license, which will interest good long-term promoters to apply for a banking license. For example, I think it is silly to have a rule to say you have to come down to 15% ownership. Why? If we are building something of high quality, if I can today manage 70,000 crore of insurance policy holders' money for the long term, why? What is difference if that customer is a banking customer? Insurance industry has shown since 2001 that it can be trusted. And I think we have to get away from the old ways of thinking that no businessman can be trusted, to trusting the ones who have proven themselves and allowing them to build within a certain set of regulatory limitations businesses.
Are you therefore saying that you may not be interested in applying for a banking license or going down the M&A route for a bank unless you see the rules of the game change, unless, for example, the Reserve Bank relooks the promoter ownership issue?
All I can say is, at this point, we are not looking at it.
But do you think this is a healthy sign to M&As, especially if a candidate that might have been rejected in the past or not got a license by the RBI in the past?
Difficult to answer that without understanding the details of the situation they are in. So as I said, this is a particular situation. And if that is the right answer for them, as long as it meets RBI's requirements and shareholder approval, I think that's their call to make. But clearly this country needs many more banks and many more stronger NBFCs if we have to really take penetration, financial penetration to the masses.
When the government changed rules for FDI, there was all this talk of how the gates were going to open, the floodgates. We didn't really see that happen. And there was a lot of talk whether your joint venture would stand, whether we would see that put-call option. It didn't happen. Is anything on the cards?
Nothing is on the cards. When the government was opening this, we told them as well that don't expect that, because a lot of the large insurance companies were already adequately capitalized and they were making a reasonable amount of money. So they didn't need the additional capital. So the additional capital was only if the foreign promoter wanted to take their stake up. And we've seen that in a few companies where the foreign promoter wanted to. You would also keep in mind that the last 4-5 years, in the period that this has happened, has been a very volatile, uncertain period globally. And it depends for foreign promoter to promoter what their priorities are. While India fits into most of their long-term priorities, and it very much does so for Allianz from what I know, but they are very comfortable with the way the businesses are being run right now. The businesses are profitable, so they don't need to put in more capital into the company. Neither of us has done that for almost 10 years now. And they are happy to use that capital elsewhere where they need to grow further.
Okay, that's Sanjeev Bajaj in an exclusive conversation with me. A very newsy interview breaks the silence on the Indiabulls Lakshmi Vilas Bank proposed merger. Not interested in a banking license at the moment, just doesn't like the regulations around it. Why should a promoter have to be diluted to 15%, especially when they're being entrusted, as Sanjeev Bajaj said, with 70,000 crore rupees of deposit when it just comes to his insurance business. Let's move on now and talk about Yes Bank. It's an ET Now news break that has been confirmed. Yes Bank will be considering a QIP when its board meets next on April 26th. The lenders may take the debt or equity route to raise capital. Let's talk about nearly 4% interest. Let's bring up the intraday chart for our viewers. Remember, this news break was confirmed yesterday post trading hours. You had heard it first right here on ET Now. The stock was buzzing and it closed at the high point of the day. Well, with that, we're going to take a short commercial break, but stay tuned. We've got a lot lined up for you on the other side, including the spoiled sport of today, crude prices. Stay tuned for that.